The Great Way remains ever serene. Hojo Tokimuni, who lived from 1251 to 1284, was his only son, and when his father's mantle fell on him in 1268, he was only 18 years old. He proved to be one of the greatest personages whom Japan has produced. Without him, indeed, the history of the country would not be what it actually is. He it was who most effectively crushed the Mongolian invasions, lasting several years. In fact, during the whole length of his regency, from 1268 to 1284. It seems that Tokimuni was almost a heaven-sent agent to stave off the direst calamity that might have befallen the nation, for he passed away with the termination of the greatest event in the history of Japan. His short life was simply and wholly devoted to this affair. He was then the body and soul of the whole nation. His indomitable spirit controlled the whole situation, and his body, in the form of a most strongly consolidated army, stood like a solid rock against the tumultuously raging waves of the Western Sea. A still more wonderful thing about this almost superhuman figure, however, is that he had time and energy and aspiration to devote himself to the study of Zen under the masters from China. He erected temples for them, especially one for Buko Kokushi, the national teacher, which was meant also to console the departed spirits, both Japanese and Chinese, at the time of the Mongolian invasions. Tokimuni's grave is still in this last-mentioned temple known as Engakuji. Some letters are still preserved, which were sent to him by his several spiritual masters, and from these we know how studiously and vigorously he applied himself to Zen. The following story, though not quite authenticated, gives support to our imaginative reconstruction of his attitude towards Zen. Tokimuni is said to have once asked Buko, "The worst enemy of our life is cowardice, and how can I escape it?" Buko answered, "Cut off the source whence cowardice comes." Tokimuni, "Where does it come from?" Buko, "It comes from Tokimuni himself." Tokimuni, "Above all things, cowardice is what I hate most, and how can it come out of myself?" Buko, "See how you feel when you throw overboard your cherished self known as Tokimuni. I will see you again when you have done that." Tokimuni, "How can this be done?" Buko, "Shut out all your thoughts." Tokimuni, "How can my thoughts be shut out of consciousness?" Buko, "Sit cross-legged in meditation and see into the source of all your thoughts which you imagine as belonging to Tokimuni." Tokimuni, "I have so much of worldly affairs to look after, and it is difficult to find spare moments for meditation." Buko, "Whatever worldly affairs you are engaged in, take them up as occasions for your inner reflection, and someday you will find out who this beloved Tokimuni of yours is."